how to increase your brand awareness without spending any money. You may be an introvert or just starting to learn, especially if you're an introvert. You're probably like, I really don't want to talk to people. How can I build my brand awareness as an introvert? Is it even possible? Let me tell you, it is.
Maybe I shouldn't. I met him in Philly, and the name was Brian. See, we been making love.
I am an introvert, and I have definitely built my brand awareness. And when you think of Exandria, it's a lot of positive things that come with that. What is brand awareness? I have it on my phone, so I am going to read. Brand awareness is your recognizability and familiarity of your brand as it relates to customers. This is important because people always buy from what they are familiar with and what is known. For example, like when it comes to hair products, most likely, especially if you are a black woman, you're going to go with what you know. There's so many hair products out there for black women. One that's really known is Kaleidoscope. I would go with her brand because I know the story behind it. I know the person that is behind it. It's black women owned, and I am familiar with that brand versus a brand that I know nothing about or probably just came out. So building your brand awareness is very important to the point that if you slap your name on your brand names on anything, people are going to buy it. Like Nike, if you put a Nike sign on a hoodie, people are more likely to buy the Nike hoodie versus a regular plain old hoodie because they know Nike's brand is familiar, know the story behind it, and they trust it. So these are the ways that you can build your brand awareness with no money. Number 1, just show up. Just show up for yourself. Making yourself known to the world, and that can be on social media, that can be when you're going to network. Just show up for yourself and be your authentic self while doing it. Remember, the world needs and wants what you are offering. Don't think that, oh, it's just you, it's just me, or whatever it may be. People need what you are offering. You're doing a disservice by keeping it in your head, in your little room, wherever you're keeping it. Just show up. Just show up. Make yourself known wherever you go. Number 2, share your story. Share your brand story. People love to know the background of what they are supporting. If you are a brand, well, I'll give myself as an example. My brand story, I'm very passionate. Like, my values and mission is very focused towards Black equity and the thriving and self-care of Black women. I've always seen my mom work a lot, and she never really got rest because she was doing it all and wasn't prioritizing herself, and I felt like she wasn't allowed to show up as her best self because she didn't ask for help or she just didn't know how. You know, I'm not going to go into a whole story. I'm actually creating a video on my brand story, but just share your story. Knowing your why is important, and sharing that with people. You can sell products all day, but if it's something that people are just as passionate about as you are, they will support it. They will buy from you because they believe in your vision. They love your story. It's relatable. So share your story. Share your story. Number 3, just be yourself. It's okay to go to other people's accounts for inspiration and things like that, but being yourself is what's going to make you stand out from the crowd. I used to think that I didn't have anything that would stand out about me, and you may be one of those people, but trust and believe you have something that is going to make you stand out. For me, it's just me. I'm like a person, like, what is professional? And when I created my vision of doing virtual assistant services, I was just thinking, I don't want to show up to work and be professional. I want to, be professional, but when I'm working and I'm creating my business and the people I'm working for, I want them to come to me relaxed, but you still get done, okay? You still get stuff done. So figure out what makes you different and expand on that. And it might be the thing that you think people will be the least interested in. It is always the thing you think that is least interesting about you is the thing that people will love about you. Because like I said, I'm quirky. I'm very laid back, simple, and I'm very anti like being professional all the time. Like, show up as you. Like, what's wrong with that? And I get the job done. And just be okay with knowing that you won't be for everybody, and you don't want to try to be for everybody. Because once you get those super fans that will always support you, shoot, you only need about 10 of those and you will be okay. Word of mouth goes a long way, a very, very long way. Expand on being yourself. As a virtual assistant, I always see a lot of virtual assistant posts that just are very professional, or they talk about the same thing. I wanted to talk about things that were different. Me, I focus on life balance, you enjoying your vacation, trust, building trust with me as your virtual assistant. And hey, when you got me as your virtual assistant, we're gonna have a good time too. And my focus is being a virtual assistant to Black women, because I know in a lot of Black women entrepreneurs and bosses, presidents, whatever you want to call it, they're typically in white spaces. So coming back to a virtual assistant that looks like you and gets it, I expand on that. Number 4, start a podcast. Show your expertise through your podcast. Connect with your audience through your podcast. And when you have a podcast, you can let your audience hear your voice and build that relationship with you, and for them to get to know you. You have to remember, people do their research before even buying from you. I had a client once, I should say, yeah, I listened to your podcast before I booked this clarity call, or I saw your YouTube. But starting a podcast is to showcase your expertise is a good way to build brand awareness. It's also a good way to position yourself as an expert in your industry or niche that you are in. And if you want to listen to my podcast, it's called The Black Woman Going For A Podcast. Feel free to check it out, and I will link it below as well. Number 5, collaborate with people. Partnerships. Collaborate with people strategically. And what I mean by strategically is collaborating with people that may have your target audience, or people, especially if you are introvert, people that you are comfortable with. Don't be afraid to reach out to people and ask, hey, do you mind if we do an IG live together? I'm doing a series and I would love to be a part of that with you. 9 times out of 10, which has happened for me, is people say, yes, I will do an IG live with you. Let's do it. Let's get it together. Let's get it going. Collaborating helps you get your brand out there to a person that has your target audience. They can promote that to your target audience, and you can now have them as your followers and get them engaged with you, and follow you on all your other platforms as well. And this allows for them to become familiar with your brand. And when building brand awareness, say this person, they're following, they really trust their word, they trust everything about them. So the person that you're doing the live with, their word of mouth and their referral and backing of you, they'll be like, oh, okay, well, if so-and-so trusts this person, then I'm gonna go, see what they talking about, and eventually warm up to them and eventually buy your products for them. And that is how you are going to build brand awareness in these 5 steps: beginner friendly and introvert friendly, without having to spend any money unless you choose to. And if you want to know more in detail of how to build your brand aesthetic on a budget, click the link below to my ebook to purchase. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Love constantly, that's why my eyes are a shade blood burgundy. The way that we kiss isn't like any other way that I be kissing when I'm kissing what I'm missing. Won't you listen? Brown sugar, babe, I guess high off your love, I don't know how to behave.